For over 132 years, the Coca Cola company has been part of many people's lives. Coca Cola now offers more than 500 brands in over 200 countries worldwide. The company also employs over 700,000 people, creating economic opportunities in many local communities. The company has also taken the responsibility upon themselves to reduce the environmental impact by replenishing water and promoting recycling. Now you may ask yourself, what is the secret to the Coca Cola brand's success? Well, it's the people. The people who have collectively created and benefited from these various initiatives across the African continent. I'm Asanda Maku, and I'll be your guide through these various initiatives that the Coca Cola company has set up. So join me as we embark on the journey to find the secret formula. Now, traveling internationally isn't easy at the moment, but we had no idea it would be this difficult. Mambo, thank you. Good afternoon. Thank you. Okay, first sanitize. Okay. Thank you.
Check the body temperature. Yes, you can check.
36.1. Okay, so I'm good.
You can open the bag.
Okay. Whew, wow, I am exhausted. Traveling here was interesting. I mean, we had to connect via Addis Ababa, which was, yeah, like I said, interesting. It was an experience. I'm looking forward to the journey. This hotel has made me feel already at home. It's beautiful, and I'm just looking forward to what we're going to be shooting in Kenya, so stay tuned. Now that we were in Nairobi, it was time to head off to our first stop, which is to investigate the water security mechanisms Coca Cola have put in place on the floors of their bottling plants. Paul Mwaura is known locally as the water champion, with some of the procedures he has instituted.
We are heading to the production hall, whereby we have pet line and we have grass line.
Okay.
The grass line is where we have one of the huge opportunity on water recovery. And this water we recover, we take it to a recovery tank, then we take it to another use. So one of the projects that we have done is to recover the water that we are using for rinsing. It is not bad water, it's a good water. It has only rinsed the bottle, and the bottle is clean. So it's just like the water used for rinsing your dishes. So that water, instead of draining it to the ground, we are recovering it. Then we are keeping it in a recovery tank. After that, we are now pumping it again to the team to use for cleaning. So this is the recovery line, this one. Instead of pouring the water on the ground, we have broke. So instead of the water going to the drain, the water is going to the correction tank. This is the correction tank. You can see the volume. You can see the volume that is coming. Then after that, there is this pump, which is already automated. It has a throat. When the throat is lifted, then the pump starts and it pumps the water to the recovery tank. Yeah. So with this, we are able to recover 1 million liters per month. This is part of the water reuse. This is among the water that we are recovering from the washer. The one we recover from the rinsing, then we take it to the water treatment in a recovery tank, then we pump it again, and then the guys now can use it for cleaning. We have a water reservoir that receives water from municipality of capacity of 2 million liters.
Wow.
From there, we have some pumps that pump the water from the reservoir to inside the water treatment.
Wow, that was so fascinating. I mean, to be here physically is just another thing. COVID almost messed that up for me, but better late than never. I don't regret being here physically and seeing the bottling system. But you know one thing, the secret formula is definitely in the team effort and the amount of work that goes into making sure you get that Coke bottle. Now that we've seen what Coca Cola is doing inside of its fence line in Kenya, let's take a look outside its fence line. And here really is where the rain projects come to the fore. We're on our way to Kaptagat to find out what WSUP, which stands for Water and Sanitation for the Urban Poor, is doing to improve the lives for the poor in regards to like sewage. And I mean, the fact that I stumbled on that word is because it's a very uncomfortable topic. I get uncomfortable with sewage, but it's a topic that needs to be addressed. So I can't wait to find out what they're doing to improve the lives of the poor. Luckily, traffic seems to be flowing because there's hectic construction happening in Nairobi right now, but hopefully we get there on time. With the support of the Coca Cola Foundation's Replenish Africa initiative, RAIN, Water and Sanitation for the Urban Poor, WSUP, has been working with Kenyan city authorities to enable more than 600,000 urban residents across 5 cities to improve access to clean water, safe sanitation, and improved hygiene. In Kaptagat, Nairobi, a new sewer line has really transformed the lives of its residents. Now with me is Mr. Francis Ndungu, who is going to be our guide, our protector, but he's the chairman of this area.
The project is about sewer line. We have been having a problem of sewer line in this area, but we have an organization called WSUP, Water and Sanitation. They came and assist us how we can have that sewer line.
Kaptagat is on a hill, and before the intervention, waste from the toilets used to flow down the hill, ending up in the Nairobi River. I mean, I must say I'm wearing a mask, but still, like, I'm not smelling sewage. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's fresh.
Yeah, it's fresh.
It's fresh air, it's clean.
And if you can open here, you can see the water is floating all of the time. Eh? Can you look?
Please help.
Come. You see?
Oh, yes, I see.
The water is floating almost 24 hours.
It literally keeps flowing,
It
24
keeps flowing,
throughout
yeah.
the day.
Yeah, of the day.
Okay, keeping it fresh and clean.
Yeah, exactly.
There's no clogging, nothing.
There's no smelling, there's no...
Yeah, that's amazing.
We are proud of
Yes,
Coca-Cola.
yeah, I can imagine.
Yeah.
Because they brought back your dignity. I mean, it should be just a basic human right to have clean water.
Exactly.
And have toilets working.
Yeah.
You know, you don't take, I mean, back home we take those things for granted because it's just there.
You see, we start changing our toilets.
Yes.
Build it in the stones.
Okay.
Before was
the hut.
bus, yeah.
Not a bus, yeah, like a shack.
Yeah.
Okay,
This one,
yes.
Now we are changing.
Now it's bringing, a dignity by literally having now a building, an actual building.
Yeah.
Because you're also making it for the children, you know?
Yeah.
The future.
This place, Coca-Cola changes.
Yeah.
So we are proud of Coca-Cola.
Yes.
Yeah.
And do you live in this area?
Yeah, I live in this area.
Okay, so you're a chairman that lives with his people.
Yeah, I live with people.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah. A lot of people that claim to be of the people just do it from outside, you know, where they're in the suburban area. They don't really make sure their people are okay. But I'm sure the trust is big because now you're actually here, you live with them.
Yeah, I live with them.
So, you know, as much as you want them to have a good life, you also want to have a good life,
exactly.
you know, so that's amazing.
Yeah.
They're seeing change, you know.
They see change, yeah.
There's nothing nice than when you a part of something, right? And you want a better life for people. But then the people lose hope and lose faith when they don't see the change happening. So now when they actually see things happening, they are proud of where they live.
Yeah.
You know, it just brings such dignity back into their lives.
The whole job was done in about 2 years.
Yeah, but that's still incredible. I mean, it looks like a huge, huge job. So for you to have managed to do that in like 2 years less than, that's incredible. That means you are really working hard.
Yeah, we have been working hard.
Because projects like this, trust me, in most places will take years.
Yeah.
Wow, I must say, that was really, I mean, my hands are clean. I washed my hands after using the toilet. The toilet worked perfectly fine. There's a lady in there who's making sure the toilet stays clean. I mean, this is just, you know, basic human right, but it's amazing to see that the people feel like they have their dignity back and the pride is there. So yeah, I'm happy. I use the toilets and yeah. With me is Mr. George Mbire, who owns this public toilets and bathroom. How has this changed for the community?
Actually, it has of great help to the community and to the public around here. Before we got the facilities, it was terrible. Almost after every 2 weeks, we had to do the exhausting. But since we got the sewer line, it's been fine. At least now there's no complaints. The toilets are clean, and even the community around us, they are very happy with the assistance they got from the Nairobi Water and the Coca Cola company, and we are grateful for that.
Chairman Dungo then invited us into his home, and we met one resident who is indeed delighted with the new line, and this is his daughter Sarah. So tell us, how has the change been? You know, has it been amazing to finally have fresh water? How's the lives been?
It has been really amazing because before we used to use a lot of money to have the exhausters come and pump the dirty water, but now it's really nice. It's flowing very well. Rainwater, whenever it's coming down, because you see it's like a slope.
Yes.
Yeah, it doesn't flood our place anymore.
That's
It has a drainage which it uses.
Yeah.
So it has been a really good experience.
Yeah.
We thank you for it, and we really appreciate it.
That's amazing.
Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you. Whew, wow, I just had to take a moment to reflect. You know, sometimes we take little things like water for granted. You know, middle class life that I live, this is far from the life I'm used to. You know, I'm used to running water, I'm used to flushing toilets, I'm used to hot baths. And this is far from that. But you know what? It's still clean water. Yes, they're washing it by hands. Yes, but it's drinkable water. You know, the WSUP has managed to restore the dignity of the people of this community with the help of Coca Cola and with the help of the chairman. You know, it's just amazing to see just how happy these people are, you know, with the little things. Now it's time to get a different perspective from one or two of the landlords in the area who are also responsible in contributing to the creation of this new sewer line in Kaptagat. Tell me, why did you think it was important as a landlord to contribute to the water and sanitation project with, you know, WSUP and Coca Cola's help?
You know, we have been having a problem with going to the toilet. We didn't have these sanitaries. We didn't know where to keep them. We had flying toilets from our tenants. They used to use these small papers. They throw them everywhere.
So that would create a smell.
Yes, smell. About the children, hygienic was, wow, it was bad. We couldn't believe it, but now at least we have seen changes. We are happy, even with our tenants, they are happy, they appreciate. About the cleanliness, everything is wow.
So it's restored the dignity back of the people. So they're more proud of the area.
They are very happy and proud.
That's great. How important was it for you to talk to the tenants and give them that reassurance that change is going to come, you know, and they will have clean water and toilets?
First of all, I want to thank the tenants because they were patient with us all through. They gave us also the support that we needed, and they were patient with us all that time that we have stayed with them, despite the challenges that we were facing. But now I can see even they put a smile on their face because of the good work that has been done.
At the onset of the project, the gap that we were trying to address, or the challenges we were trying to address, was a very dire situation, sanitation situation in this low-income settlement, where we had trunk sewers traversing through the main part of Kangemi, which is a larger slum, and Kaptagat is one of the villages in Kangemi, with little or no one connected virtually to the trunk sewer. And the requests had come from the community to the informal settlements region at Nairobi City Water and Sewerage Company, which is the utility serving the entire Nairobi City, that they were really keen on improving their sanitation situation. So we went through a process of design and planning together with the community and the water service provider, Nairobi Water, and enabled the implementation of the project that you see today. Our theory of change as an organization advocates for various approaches to how this can be achieved, mainly working through the mandated institutions, the water service providers, the county governments, in the national governments.
Now, in terms of the informal settlements, you know, I'd like to focus on that and your relationship with WSUP. How did that come about, you know, to make sure that the informal settlement, the community, have access to water and sanitation?
Basically, the way you work with WSUP, we usually have a memorandum of understanding. Their main point of entry is actually funding. They give us the funding. Sometimes they give us a bit of technical support, but usually once they have indicated that they have some funds that they want to assist Nairobi Water in terms of extension of services, we sit and agree on which areas that we are going to work on, and then we do the planning. They can do the designs, or we can do, depending on the kind of funding, where the source is, whether they want us to do the designs and then they fund, or they can even do the designs, then we fund. Then supervision is usually kind of joint supervision. They have their team, we have our team, so that at all times, both teams are actually working in tandem.
Right, so now we're on our way to Biafra to find out how WSUP and the Nairobi Water Company managed to weed out corruption in the water system. Biafra is a very poor area, with most of its residents barely eking out an existence. Gertrude is the project leader from WSUP and has been with them from the very beginning.
The road that we were walking along as we were coming into the settlement. Yes. Actually, it was full of illegal pipes, and they were just right on the surface. But now, when we came in, actually now these illegal connections, illegal pipes, were actually uprooted, and we laid a legal one underground, which now has allowed the people, those willing to connect. Yes. And one of the options, the service options that the water utility actually proposed for this village is actually the prepaid dispensers. I love it. Yeah. Because it is handing power over to the user. Of course. They can access water at their own comfort, 24/7. It is affordable to them, 50 cents, half a shilling, that is. Wow. When they used to pay actually 5 shillings, when the supply is normal. Yes. 10 shillings when you want a door-to-door delivery. Oh my goodness. And 20 shillings when it's scarce. Wow.
How was it living without the meter and with no water? Can you just tell us how it was before?
We were traveling so many kilometers. From here up to Isili, it's like 10 kilometers walk. Wow. And that you'll need to leave all your work so that you can concentrate, you can get water for your household.
Because it's the whole day.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, so it was tough.
It was tough
and challenging,
Yeah.
Can imagine a mother with her child and 20 liters of jerrycan.
Oh my goodness. How does the meter work itself? Just take us through that.
Okay, first you need to have this one. This is the first step.
Okay, and do you control the token?
Yeah, I control the token.
Okay.
Okay, you press this button. This is a button. You press it, then you present. It is prompting you. Yes. And gives you the next step to do. You present the token.
Yes.
Then the 20 liters. When it's over, it cuts itself off.
Oh, okay. Oh, it stops by itself.
So automatically.
Okay. And this specific meter, because I see there's a lot of ladies washing clothes, and that requires a lot more water. Yeah. Is this what you would call maybe the laundromat, like where they come and do their washing? Is it only for washing, or is it also?
Yeah. Even most of the people unemployment through this water, because there are people who can stay at home and wash their clothes. So they create employment to the ladies around here, those who don't have jobs.
Okay, so in the end, it's still a business for the ladies who don't have work, so they get to do the washing, and the ones that have to go out and work don't have to worry about it.
Yeah. The youth groups who maintain this one from breakage and all the other things. They pay this to Nairobi Water. Let's say 1,000 as a group. Then they get a discount of 40%, which is their profit.
Okay.
Yeah. With this one, you can load as low as from 5 shillings.
Yeah, so it's very important then to have the chairmen and the people around the community, because it takes the whole community to make sure this runs smoothly. Right?
Exactly, and you'll maybe need whalers for laying the pipes, you'll need local labor for assisting.
And how's the maintenance, the upkeep of it? Is that also something that, for instance, when the meter doesn't work
Yeah.
You know, is it quite efficient where the people come and fix it? Or do they have a day without water? Because I mean, load shedding happens in South Africa.
Exactly.
So, you know, not everything runs smoothly all the time.
Yeah. And that is one of the lessons that we've learned over time. And as WSUP, we've actually strived to change that.
Okay.
We know that most of the communities don't have the power to operate and maintain water projects. So whatever we do, we anchor it onto the mandated institutions who have the technical know-how, who have the financial availability to do that.
Okay.
So wherever we go and we are bringing in a project, we'll actually ensure for sustainability purposes, it is actually taken up by the local utility, the water utility that is in that area is actually the jurisdiction of it. My ultimate vision is that as we came in, I said, there were no options. There were no models. We tried and developed models which have been taken up by the water companies. I really wish that they are able to replicate the same and actually just ensure the right to water, safe water, the right to sanitation is achieved for all. Now that through the SDGs, it is leave no one behind. We have no reason to leave people in the low-income areas behind.
The next project we'll be looking at in Kenya is the Upper Tana Water Fund. The Nature Conservancy, TNC, spearheaded the development of the Upper Tana Nairobi Water Fund. This innovative model is the first of its kind on the African continent. TNC is engaging watershed stakeholders from all sectors of society to undertake projects that benefit the smallholder farmers living in the Upper Tana Basin and downstream Nairobi city residents. Malik Keita joined us from the United States via Zoom.
We've done some work with TNC as well, the Nature Conservancy, similar to the work that we're doing in Cape Town in South Africa. We've done some work with TNC to establish a water fund where you have different stakeholders that come together to protect the ecosystem around a watershed. And that presents benefits not only there in the watershed, but also benefits downstream for users of that water supply. The quality is improved, the vegetation is improved, the utility has less costs when it comes to treating the water, and you're able to get more water into the system.
The water funds bring the parties together to kind of establish a payment for ecosystem services, where those who live in a city and benefit from water downstream could come together and put in financial resources to support those up in the watershed who actually take care of the sources of water. In 2015, we had done a business case for this. And what we found out is that it would cost about $10 million to do investment over a 10 years period. But the gains are huge. There will be $21.5 million in savings if we invest. And we established what is called the Upper Tana Nairobi Water Fund.
Okay.
Where Upper Tana is the source.
And you conceptualized that with your team,
It was team effort.
Yes.
It was team effort. Particularly, we got some very good partners from private sector. There are also other values. When you look at a company like Coca Cola and our work, we had lots of shared values. We care for sustainable water supply.
Can you just take us through how it's affected the community and the success stories?
When we did the business case, we were able to determine the areas that were really badly off. And that's where we started. Some of these are in the river buffer areas, the riparian areas that were getting degraded. Others were farmers who are farming on very steep slopes, and others were within the forests. So we made a target that we would rehabilitate part of the forest in both the Aberdare Forest and Mount Kenya National Park that were degraded. We'll then move on to work with about 50,000 farmers when it's all done. And we walk that journey. We have 28,000 farms today that are done. We fix the farms.
Coca-Cola's core business is really to manufacture, package and sell these beverages that consumers enjoy. But they find that water conservation is an integral part of what they have to do because Their core ingredient is water. But they are not out there. This is not the thing that they know how to do. And the best way to do it is to find the people who know how to do it. And there's nobody better at the source water conservation level than the Nature Conservancy. And that's why our interests aligned at that spot. And COC trusts us to be able to work with the farmers, to teach them these good practices, to use their money in the right way, to be able to use their money to mobilize. The leadership position that COC took to give us that seed money, that catalytic money, was so critical in mobilizing the additional financing. And to be able to raise $1 million every year is no mean feat.
Can you just tell us, what is the end goal? What is the vision for this project moving forward?
The ecosystem there requires that everybody comes to the party to ensure that that source, the riparian lands, the tributaries all the ways to the dam are conserved. And what we want to do as the Nature Conservancy is to be able to raise $7.5 million that will go into an endowment fund. We've already raised $2 million. So this, the next $5.5 million, when we are able to raise this and put in an endowment fund, then we can fix the water challenges, for the city of Nairobi forever. The COVID pandemic demonstrated to us that water is the first line of defense. Everybody was told, wash your hands.
Yes.
So it is if anybody took water for granted, that they don't interact with it on a daily basis, that it matters only for companies that are big water users like Coca Cola, then now they have to think again. That if you don't have, or the ordinary citizen does not have access to water, they are at great danger.
We've supported since 2010, since the program was launched, over 120 projects across 41 different countries on the continent. So it's a very large footprint. But in addition to reaching 6 million people, in the process, we've empowered 400,000 women who now today do not have to spend as much time collecting water, and as a result are able to put that time into their families, education, or other more productive activities.
Once again, we've seen how Coca Cola has been working with both global and local partners, making sure they do business the right way. But this is not the end of my trip. In fact, it's only the beginning. So I'll see you again next time from the hustling and bustling streets of Nairobi.